Hello and welcome. Tonight, I'd like to share with you an old story from Korea. A tale about kindness, trust, and the hidden grace that sometimes finds us in our darkest moments. Let the worries of your day drift away. Close your eyes if you'd like. Just listen. This is the story of a poor man and a mysterious woman who changed his life forever. Long, long ago, there lived a man who had nothing. He worked every day from sunrise to sunset. His hands were rough, his back ached. But no matter how hard he tried, poverty never left his side. It was the last day of the year. The Lunar New Year was coming. In the village, children laughed and ran through the streets in their bright new clothes. Families prepared feasts. Lanterns glowed warmly in every window. But in the man's home, there was only silence. His children sat quietly in the corner, their stomachs empty. There was no rice, no firewood, no new clothes. The man looked at them and felt his heart break. What kind of father am I? He thought. I cannot even feed my own children. He sat outside as the sun began to set, his head in his hands. The sky turned from gold to pink to deep, heavy blue. And in that blue darkness, a terrible thought entered his mind. Perhaps, he whispered to himself, it would be better if I were gone. He stood, he walked, and slowly he began to climb the mountain. The mountain path was steep and dark. The man climbed higher and higher, his heart growing heavier with each step. But then, something appeared below him. A light, a small flickering lantern moving up the path. He stopped. He hid behind the trees and waited. The light came closer, and then a voice, soft, clear, like water over stone. He was just here a moment ago. Where did he go? The man peeked through the branches. It was a woman. She was beautiful, dressed in fine clothing, holding a lantern that glowed softly in the night. She looked directly at where he was hiding. There you are, she said gently. Please, come out. The man stepped into the light, confused and wary. Who are you? He asked. Why have you followed me here? I don't want to live anymore. Leave me alone. But the woman shook her head. How can I leave someone who wishes to die? She said. Come with me. There is a way for you to live. She reached out her hand. The man refused. Again and again, he said no. But she was patient, and he was so tired. Finally, he took her hand. They walked deeper into the forest, farther than the man had ever been. And then Suddenly, there it was, a grand house with a tiled roof, glowing warmly in the moonlight. "This is my home," the woman said. "Please come inside." She led him through the door and asked him to wait. A few moments later, she returned with a table covered in food: rice, soup, vegetables, fish, more than he had seen in years. The man ate gratefully, but with every bite, he thought of his wife, his children, how hungry they must be. When he finished, the woman spoke. "I have a request," she said softly. "Please, stay here with me. You may visit your family twice a year, once at the New Year and once at the Harvest Festival. In return, I will take care of them. They will never go hungry again." The man didn't understand, but what choice did he have? He agreed. Time passed. The Harvest Festival came, and the man asked to visit his family. The woman smiled and nodded, but before he left, she said, "Go, see your children, spend time with your wife. But please, do not sleep there tonight. Visit and return right away. Promise me." The man promised. When he arrived home, he couldn't believe his eyes. The old crumbling house had been repaired. His wife wore clean, warm clothes. His children were healthy, well-fed, their faces bright with joy. He spent the afternoon with them, holding them close, laughing for the first time in so long. But as evening fell, he remembered his promise. "I have to go now," he told them. "But don't worry, I'll come back again." And he did. Twice a year. Every year, his family was cared for. And the man lived peacefully in the mountains. One year, on the night before the New Year, the man prepared to leave. But this time, the woman grabbed his arm. "Please," she said, her voice trembling. "Don't go today. If you leave now, you'll not come back." The man was confused. "But you promised I could visit twice a year." She said nothing more. So he left. On his way back to the mountain, he stopped at a stream, and there, standing on the other side, was his father. But his father had been dead for many years. "My son," the figure said, "do not return to that house. The woman you live with is not human. She is a centipede spirit. If you go back, you will die." The man's heart pounded. "But if you must return," the spirit continued, "smoke your pipe, gather the ashes, and throw them on her. Only then will you be safe." And with that, the figure disappeared. The man walked back to the house slowly, his mind racing. Before going inside, he crept around to the back and looked through a crack in the door. What he saw made his breath catch. There, stretched across the floor, was an enormous red centipede. He stood there for a long time, Then, quietly, he whispered to himself, "Even if she kills me, I will not harm her. She saved my life. She cared for my family. How could I repay her kindness with cruelty?" He walked inside. The woman was there, in her human form, smiling warmly. "You're back," she said. The man sat by the fire and lit his pipe. He smoked slowly, silently. The woman watched him. Her face grew pale. Her hands trembled. Finally, the man flicked the ashes. Outside, the woman gasped and grabbed his hand. "You met your father, didn't you?" He nodded. She closed her eyes, tears streaming down her face. "That was not your father," she said. "It was a serpent spirit I once knew. He was jealous, and he wanted me dead. If you had thrown those ashes on me, I would have died." She looked at him, her voice breaking. "But you didn't. You chose mercy, and because of that, I can finally return to where I belong." She smiled through her tears. "Thank you. Live well, live long, and be happy." And then, before his eyes, she transformed into a centipede, rose like smoke into the air, and disappeared into the sky, closing. The man woke to find the grand house gone. In its place was only a large stone. He hurried home. His wife and children were still there, safe and well, in their sturdy house. The woman had kept her promise. To the very end, the man never forgot her. And for the rest of his days, he lived with gratitude in his heart. And so, the story ends. Sometimes kindness comes from the most unexpected places, and sometimes the greatest strength is choosing mercy over fear. Rest well, sleep peacefully. Good night.